Smith, and today we're going to cover one of the hardship reasons in a little bit more detail. We're going to talk about divorce.
You know what's funny is like you just said today, and the way you said it was like an announcer. Today.
Today.
It was just funny.
Today only.
And I didn't mean to laugh because we are talking about something that's really devastating on families, but just the way you said today. Yeah, it threw me off there. But please, go ahead. We are going to talk about divorce and short sales.
We are going to talk about divorce and short sales. And divorce is one of the hardships. That's acceptable.
Right.
But there's different situations in divorce that people can run into. I've been dealing with a couple myself recently, and the way they're handled is slightly different. And what information you need from your sellers can vary depending upon, is the divorce final? What does the divorce decree say?
Right.
Who's remaining on title? How was all of that handled? And it's just questions that you need to know, that you need to look into.
Right.
So one of the things that came, I'll give you an example. In one of the cases right now that I've got, we have a situation where on the loan, the husband and wife are listed, or now the ex-wife. Okay? In the divorce decree, the property was awarded to the ex-wife.
Okay.
So it's only her responsibility.
It's only her responsibility, but he's still on the
he's still on the loan.
Right, and
okay?
the loan.
And the loan. So he's still on both. But the question is, does he have to provide all of his financials? And what we found in this particular case is because the property was awarded to the ex-wife in the divorce, what the banks are coming back and asking for is they're telling us that no, he does not have to provide his financial information because he, per the court, is no longer financially responsible for the property. The only thing that has to be disclosed is the support alimony payment he's making. However, a quitclaim deed does need to be prepared, taking the husband, ex-husband, off of title.
Right.
Now that can raise a few flags because some of the ex-spouses that we've talked to have said, well, wait a minute, if I go and sign this, now all of a sudden I have no ownership interest in the home, but I'm still on the loan.
Right.
So it's going to vary from lender to lender from what we're seeing, but in some cases, like what we just experienced, because the divorce decree said the house was now hers, a quitclaim deed was prepared, notarized, however, it was not recorded.
Right.
It's in the file to be recorded upon successful close of the short sale, and that is forwarded to the bank, and that is all that they need. So if that property does not close, that quitclaim does not get recorded.
Right. They just escrow just holds it on file, or
Correct.
Or the courts, depending on your state. You know, somebody just holds it on file so that it's ready to go when they do actually make the sale. Obviously, in a perfect world, we'd be in a situation where there is a divorce, and the husband and wife that are now divorced would actually communicate and work together to get that property gone. Because the bottom line is that if for some reason there is a foreclosure, even though it's been awarded, the responsibility has been awarded to one side, both parties get hit with that foreclosure.
Exactly.
Because they're both still on that deed, and they're not going to quitclaim that off so that only one party gets hit. So in a perfect world, there would be some type of communication.
Exactly. Now, with that in mind, we've got another one going right now that's another divorce. The divorce is finalized, but the divorce decree in that particular states, or in that particular instant, states that the disposition of the property is to take place, meaning the house has to be sold.
Right.
Okay? So now we have a court mandate that the house has to be sold, husband and ex-wife are still on title, and they're both still on the loan. In that particular situation, it's different. Now we need a complete financial package from the husband, and we need a complete financial package from the ex-wife. They don't have to be talking. They can provide it independently, but all of that information now needs to be sent to the lender, and they're going to look at all of it and making their decisions.
Yeah, again, in a perfect world, they'd be communicating. If they're not communicating, then as an agent or a broker, whatever you are, working with this couple, you're going to have to be the conduit between the two.
Right.
One caution is under no circumstances do you want to only communicate with one side. If you have the relationship, say, with the ex-husband, you don't want him calling the ex-wife to put stuff together. You want to make sure that they understand clearly that you are there to protect both parties, represent both parties, and if you can't create dialogue in the same room at the same time, then you just have to make double calls and make sure that you're talking to both people.
Exactly. There could be a little extra work there, but the important thing is that you are out there to protect both parties. So again, in this situation, there is no one perfect exact answer. It's going to depend upon the situation and what the divorce decree says. And you're going to need a complete copy of that divorce decree, and it's going to have to be submitted to the lender as part of the short sale package.
Very similar to separation, which we touched on this on another video, which we'll probably go back to it as things change. But if there is a separation, you want to make sure that number one, it is a legal separation. There's documentation that's been filed with the courts to show that they are legally separated. And in that legal separation, that one party is not living in the property anymore. Because what we're seeing happen, and I know this is not the nicest thing to say, but we're seeing people say, oh, we're separated, but then you find out later that there really is no separation. There's no paperwork, they're both still living in the same home, et cetera, and nothing has really changed in their life. They're just trying to walk away from their mortgage. So as an agent, you want to be very careful that you interview in depth what separation means to these individuals, and if you have to define it for them according to how the bank sees it, then you really have to step up and make sure that they understand.
Right. So again, if you've got any questions about a particular situation you're dealing with, a divorce situation, you're not sure on which way to go, feel free to visit us at s2neg.com. Send us your questions, and we'll do some research for you. We'll get back with some direction. Make it a great day.
Thanks for stopping by.